Hi there. So today I'm going to be barbecuing. Nice hot day, first hot day of the springtime we've had here in the Pacific Northwest. It's gotten up to a little over 80 today. So it's going to be a good time to fire up the grill and do some barbecuing. So I'm going to do something that is a little unusual for a lot of people, which is barbecuing a whole chicken. Um, this can be difficult just to get the temperature right and everything if you try to do it normally the way you would roasting a chicken. I'm going to do what's called spatchcocking the bird. And to do that, you basically cut the spine bone out of the bird using a pair of kitchen shears. And that lets you splay the bird out open so all the bones face down and all the meat's on top. That happens to work out great for barbecuing because the bones all face down towards the fire. Doesn't matter if they burn at all or whatever. All the meat's on top and just kind of smokes and cooks in the heat of the grill. So works really well. It's one of my favorite ways to cook a whole chicken. I'm going to save the spine and use it for stock. I'm going to actually probably cook the whole chicken carcass into a stock after I'm done eating it. So I kind of like to start at the neck and then just kind of follow that down the bird. You're kind of cutting through the ribs, so it's tough, but they're kind of small bones, so they're pretty easy to cut through, and shears work pretty well. It's kind of hard to do with a knife. You can do it with a knife, but kitchen shears are really kind of the tool for this job. So that's one side, cut off the other side. Alright, so that's the spine from the chicken. I'm just going to throw that in the pot. And then you turn the bird over and basically just splay it out. The breastbone kind of has to crack, so it takes a little pressure. And you'll hear it snap. I'm going to loosen the skin up from inside here because I'm going to put some seasoning under the skin. Alright, so with the skin on the chicken loosened up, I'm going to take a couple of cloves of garlic, just going to smash them, remove the skin, then I'm going to take one clove each and just stick it under the skin of the breast. I'm going to shove a piece of rosemary under each also, and a couple of sprigs of thyme. And as the skin on the chicken kind of renders down, its oil is all going to kind of drip into these herbs, and that's all going to kind of infuse the rest of the chicken with this delicious flavor. Alright, then the last thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of that homemade ranch dressing that I made, and I'm going to just smear this over the outside of the skin on the thighs and the breasts and the wings. The oil in the ranch is going to kind of help render the skin down. It'll make it nice and crispy. And then all the herbs and spices in the dressing are going to be like a marinade. As there was dill, thyme, sage, garlic powder, onion powder, and a few other things in here, along with salt and pepper. So I'm not going to season this with any more salt because the mayonnaise is salty. And this is probably about like a tablespoon and a half, maybe 2 tablespoons of the ranch dressing. And I'm basically just kind of coating everything with it. Alright, so my coals are nice and red hot now. I'm going to dump those out and then put my chicken on. Alright, so my coals are nice and red hot. I'm going to throw this chicken on. And you basically just want to lay it bone side down right in the middle. So once this is on here, you pretty much want to cover it up and leave it for a little while. And I'm just going to check it with the meat thermometer every 10 minutes or so and see how it's doing. So I'll check back in a little bit. All right, so my chicken's been on the grill for about 20 minutes. I'm going to take a look at it and see how it's doing. Oh yeah, it's looking really good. I'm going to take a temperature real quick, but probably got another 15 minutes or so, I would guess. Yeah, it's doing good. The coolest part of it is down around 115 right now. I guess it probably has about 15 minutes left. Been checking the temperature of the grill. It's up around 375, so see how long it'll take, but it's probably going to be around 45 minutes altogether at 375 in the grill. All right, so I'm going to check on this chicken here. It's been in here for about 50 minutes or so, 45, 50 minutes. Temperature's up to about 155, which is right about where I want it. It'll kind of heat up the rest of the way to 165 as it cools down. The temperature will equalize and the cooler part will finish cooking. All right, yeah, so the chicken's pretty much done. I'm going to take it off and then let it rest for about 10 more minutes. And I'm just going to put it on this wire rack and a little pan. All right, so I pulled the chicken off the grill. I've got it back inside the house here now. I'm gonna let it rest for a good 10 minutes or so. That'll let the last cool little part of the meat finish cooking, and it'll let all the juices kind of settle out. Yeah, it looks great, smells great. It's got a nice crispy looking skin and a good crust from that glaze we put on it.